you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, and even if you haven't been, you've probably seen commercials from law firms offering to help with your case. Some of these firms are highly qualified specialists with decades of mesothelioma experience, and others are general personal injury firms without real asbestos expertise. Today, I want to help you identify the signs of a reputable mesothelioma law firm, understand what credentials and qualities to look for, and give you a framework for choosing an attorney who will truly serve your best interests. I'm Terri Oppenheimer. I've been writing about mesothelioma and asbestos for the website mesothelioma.net for over a decade. I'm not an attorney, and this is not legal advice. But knowing what makes a law firm reputable helps you make confident decisions about legal representation. So let's start with the foundational qualities that distinguish reputable mesothelioma law firms. Specialization in asbestos litigation is the hallmark. The best mesothelioma attorneys focus specifically on asbestos and mesothelioma cases, not general personal injury work. These firms have dedicated asbestos departments with attorneys who do nothing but mesothelioma cases year after year. They've built extensive knowledge about asbestos products, exposure sites, defendant companies, and medical evidence that general practitioners, they just can't match. When you're evaluating a firm's advertising, look for clear statements about their asbestos specialization. Firms with the knowledge and resources you need are going to prominently feature their mesothelioma expertise rather than listing it among dozens of other practice areas. A proven track record, that's the second key quality. Established mesothelioma law firms can point to decades of experience, hundreds or even thousands of cases that they've handled, and substantial verdicts and settlements that they've obtained for their clients. Look for firms that transparently share their results, not just vague claims of millions recovered, but specific information about their experience level and outcomes. Many reputable firms publish case results on their websites, which show the range of settlements and verdicts that they've achieved. You can verify the firm's track record through independent sources, legal directories like Martindale-Hubbell, Super Lawyers, or Best Lawyers. They all provide peer-reviewed ratings. State bar associations maintain records of attorney licensing and any disciplinary actions. Now, I'm going to take a break here to ask you a quick favor. If you find these videos helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. It makes it easier for other people who need this information to find us. Also, if you have questions or there's a topic you'd like to see addressed in a future video, send me a note in the comments section and make sure you watch until the end because I'm going to give you valuable information on where to find resources that will make a real difference for you. Getting back into this, national reputation among mesothelioma medical specialists is another indicator of attorney quality. The top mesothelioma law firms are well known within the medical community. Doctors at specialized mesothelioma treatment centers often know which law firms do excellent work because they see the quality of legal representation their patients are receiving. Also, reputable firms have established relationships with medical experts who testify in mesothelioma cases, industrial hygienists who investigate exposure, and other specialized professionals that are essential to building strong cases. A patient-centered approach distinguishes reputable firms from those focused purely on volume. Quality mesothelioma attorneys understand that you're dealing with a very serious illness. They're going to treat you with compassion and respect, not as a case number or commission opportunity. In their advertising and initial consultations, reputable firms emphasize understanding your individual situation. They take time to investigate your exposure history thoroughly. They keep you informed throughout the legal process, and they respect your timeline and priorities given your health situation. They acknowledge that while legal compensation is important, your health and quality of life come first. They work around your treatment schedule rather than demanding you accommodate their timeline. Transparency about the legal process and realistic expectations are hallmarks of honest attorneys. Reputable firms will clearly explain how mesothelioma cases work, what to expect at each stage, and realistic timelines for settlement or trial. They'll also give you an honest assessment of your case's strengths and potential challenges. They won't make unrealistic promises about guaranteed outcomes or specific dollar amounts before reviewing your case. Instead, they explain that each case is unique and settlement amounts depend on factors like exposure evidence, state laws, defendant solvency, and individual damages. In advertising, look for firms that educate rather than just making emotional appeals or financial promises. Reputable firms often provide substantive information about mesothelioma, asbestos exposure, and legal rights in their marketing materials. Resources and infrastructure matter for complex mesothelioma litigation. Established firms have extensive asbestos product databases documenting which companies made which products and when, networks of expert witnesses, including doctors, industrial hygienists, and occupational health specialists, investigative resources to track down employment records, witnesses, and historical documentation, and financial resources to fund expensive litigation against well-funded corporate defendants. Smaller firms or solo practitioners might lack these resources. They might be excellent attorneys, but in the client's best interest, they probably need to refer complex cases to larger firms with more infrastructure. Ethical advertising practices distinguish reputable firms. What you look for in law firm advertising? Clear identification of the firm name and location rather than vague references to we or our team without specifics. Honest information about mesothelioma and legal rights without sensationalism, educational content along promotional messages, a professional tone that treats viewers with respect, transparent contact information, including physical office locations rather than just call centers. Qualifications should be clearly stated, including bar admission, years of experience, and case results. Finally, realistic timelines and expectations, not pressure tactics about call now or lose your rights. What are the signs of reputable firms? In their initial consultation, they ask detailed questions about your diagnosis, work history, and exposure, rather than immediately pushing you to sign contracts. They explain their investigation practice and what information they need from you. They'll talk about their fees, what the contingency percentage is, how costs are handled, and what happens if you don't win. They give you time to consider and encourage you to consult with other firms. They provide references or testimonials from former clients. They discuss the legal process realistically, including your challenges and uncertainties. How can you verify a firm's reputation? Check state bar websites to verify that attorneys are licensed and in good standing with no disciplinary actions on their record. Look at independent review sites, understanding that a few negative reviews among many positive ones is normal, but patterns of complaints are red flags. Search for the firm in legal directories like Martindale Hubbell, Super Lawyers, or Best Lawyers, all of which provide peer ratings. Ask your mesothelioma treatment team if they know of the firm. Doctors at specialized centers often have insight into which law firms serve patients well. Look for membership in professional organizations like the American Association for Justice or state trial lawyer associations, which require certain standards. Check for published articles, speaking engagements, or thought leadership by the firm's attorneys in asbestos litigation. What about national firms versus local firms? Both can be reputable. National firms with offices in multiple states often have the most resources and experience. They handle mesothelioma cases across the country and have deep expertise. Established local firms in areas with high asbestos use, like shipbuilding regions and industrial areas, often have strong mesothelioma practices and deep knowledge of local exposure sites and defendant companies. The key isn't size or geographic reach, but demonstrated expertise and ethical practice. Red flags that suggest a firm might not be reputable include advertising that creates panic or extreme urgency, promising specific settlement amounts, and asking for any money upfront. Legitimate mesothelioma attorneys work on contingency only. You should also watch out for anyone who's vague about who they are or where they're located, have primarily negative online reviews citing poor communications or low settlements, are unable to provide specific information about their mesothelioma experience, and use pressure tactics for you to sign contracts immediately without time to consider. What questions should you ask to evaluate reputation? These questions help assess whether a firm is truly reputable. How long has your firm been handling mesothelioma cases? How many mesothelioma cases have you personally handled, and how many has your firm handled? What percentage of your practice is dedicated to asbestos litigation? Ask them to provide examples of settlements or verdicts in cases that are similar to yours. Ask what professional ratings or recognitions the firm has received. Ask if they're board certified in any relevant specialties, who will actually handle your case day to day, what resources they have for investigating asbestos exposure. Ask if they'll provide references from former clients. Ask how they communicate with clients throughout the process. Reputable attorneys will welcome these questions and provide thorough, specific answers. Should you consult with multiple firms? Absolutely. Most mesothelioma attorneys offer free initial consultations. Speaking with 2 or 3 firms allows you to compare their approaches, their expertise, and how comfortable you feel with each. Reputable firms encourage you to get multiple opinions rather than pressuring you to sign immediately. If a firm discourages you from consulting others, that's another red flag. The bottom line is that reputable mesothelioma law firms exist, and they genuinely want you to help you obtain fair compensation while treating you with dignity and respect. They have proven expertise, transparent practices, patient-centered approaches, and ethical advertising. So take time to research, verify credentials, ask questions, and trust your instincts. If a firm seems too aggressive, makes unrealistic promises, or treats you as a transaction rather than a person, keep looking. The right attorney will make you feel confident, informed, and respected. To review, reputable mesothelioma law firms have clear specialization in asbestos litigation, proven track records with verifiable results, a national reputation among medical specialists, a patient-centered approach prioritizing your health and dignity, transparency about process and realistic expectations, and substantial resources for complex litigation. Look for ethical advertising that educates rather than pressures, clear identification and credentials, a professional tone, and honest timelines. Verify reputations through state bar websites, legal directories, independent reviews, and medical team referrals. Interview multiple firms, ask detailed questions, and definitely trust your instincts. Visit mesothelioma.net for more information about mesothelioma legal rights and finding reputable representation, or you can call 1-800-692-8608 or use the live chat feature on the website to work with one of our patient advocates immediately. As for me, remember you can put any questions you want in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time.